And we're back for part 2 of the interview. Shad, you're right here back on the thing. I want to get into talk about Crime Time. Whose idea was that? How did that come about? You like my official voice?
I like your official voice.
Welcome to Crime Time, ladies and gentlemen. We're here with Shad Beast. He's a beast. His name is Shad. You put it together, you get Shad Beast. He's there with his lovely lady. She kind of looks like a dog, but we won't even talk about that.
Hey, I love her.
Doggy style.
Is that a pit?
Stop rating.
What?
Don't get me started.
Don't. What is that? Is that a pit? Is that a pit bull? What is that?
Yeah, he's a pit. He's a pit bull mastiff mix.
Wow.
Yeah, his mom. I actually rescued him because his mother and father go for fight dogs, and they were gonna kill him. But I convinced the rescue I can raise him not to be violent.
So you were a bodyguard for Michael Vick at one time? Is that what you're saying? What about he is damn Mr. Glass this year? I mean, he's the Mr. Glass hurt now. Every year, Michael Vick's hurt. He's going for X-rays.
He's gonna have those rib problems his whole career. I'm afraid
he's gonna have damn cancer if he keeps going for X-rays every damn week. You can't get that shit all the time.
It's fucked up, you know.
That mother got his feelings hurt when he got some X-rays. Who's your team in the NFL? Who you like?
I'm a big Giants fan. I'm a New Yorker, so you know I'm a huge Giants fan. I've always have been, always will be.
Eli's a great quarterback.
The Knicks and the Yankees, but I always have respect for everybody else that's in our city. You know.
Yeah. Why don't they just change the name to the New Jersey Giants though? They play in New Jersey.
They do. Don't they share their stadium with
Yeah.
They share with damn, who is it?
The Jets, I guess.
Yeah, the Jets. They share. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's like they share the stadium. The Nets have their own arena. The Knicks have their arena. The Yankees have theirs. Mets have theirs. You know, it's like they're parts of New Jersey that aren't Jersey. They're parts of New York that really aren't New York. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to be nitpicky, but I'm saying if you're named after a city, it should just be the city you play in. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. Call me crazy.
It's paperwork.
It might be. You know, the Carolina Panthers, I hate that they're called Carolina because they should be called the Charlotte Panthers. I hate that they named them after the whole state. Yeah, but then you got to include South Carolina. And I don't give a damn about South Carolina. Nobody even Shelton Benjamin, who is from South Carolina, don't like South Carolina. He tries to tell everybody he's from Houston.
What has South Carolina produced in the last one? Shelton Benjamin? Okay, nothing. Like I said.
There's still a civil war going on right now between North and South Carolina. It's still going on. Them motherfuckers don't know we lost. I say we like we was in that shit.
Yeah, we were right there in front line.
Seriously, I actually had a conversation with a guy the other day on Twitter, and he was like, he's like, if Obama wins, we're gonna have another civil war.
If Obama wins, we're gonna have another civil war?
Yeah, I'm like, dude, do you know who wins in a civil war? Nobody, because everybody who's dying is American.
Yeah.
So why would you want to? How do you go and say on one side, I love America, on the next side, we want a civil war to kill other Americans? That makes no sense. That's stupidity.
Was he a good old boy? Was he from that good old boy network?
I don't know, man. This the shits, you know.
Politics are hell these days, boy. We've had so many problems that should have been fixed a long time ago, and because they weren't, they've snowballed into avalanche of problems. And I think if you're pro-Democrat or pro-Republican, you're part of the problem because that system is broken. It's massively flawed. I think Ron Paul's the way to go, and I'm not sitting there trying to get people to vote. Vote for somebody, of course, but my vote is going to go to Ron Paul for whatever it's worth. I don't want Obama or Romney to win.
You know what's funny? I'm a Republican, and you know, people like my wife just found out when she was doing my voter stuff the other week, and she's like, "You're Republican?" I was like, "Yeah." And but I'm a mathematical, I understand economy Republican. Not the reason that we're having bad economy is because they're gays here.
Yeah, that's
the thing. No, it's like, but that's the thing. It's like a lot of these guys who are calling themselves Republican and conservatives, they're not. They're literally saying that a pyramid, is strongest when the tip is at the bottom. That doesn't mix. Okay, a pyramid is strong when the base is secure.
Right.
And then as you go up the pyramid, you secure every single level. And the point will stay strong always. and that was the economic system that FDH or like all the presidents from way back when have literally followed the system, and it worked up to John F. Kennedy, okay, have followed that system, and it worked. The more you make, the more you get taxed for, but then you're giving certain credits because you're getting so taxed, okay. And it's not a trickle down effect of here's some pennies. It's everybody's paying their fair share, and we're all supporting each other up, rather than you guys support me up and I might give you a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Basic mathematics is, it's a lost art right now, apparently.
And the whole thing with Romney saying, I paid at least 13%. I was going, that just blew me away. And I was just like, 13%. I think you got to pay more. Yeah, really? You got to pay more than that if you work at McDonald's. And I've been on that side where you write out that big income tax check. I had to write out one for $80,000 one time. And that would hurt your damn feelings. You're sitting there right now, $80,000, and you're going, I don't drive on better roads. The cops don't come to my house any faster. What the hell am I getting? I didn't want these wars that we're paying for. I didn't want that shit. And I was like, and that really sets your mind to that Republican way of thinking that, you shouldn't be punished for being successful, because I understand feeling like that, because I did feel like that. But at the same time, man, I think it should just be a flat tax, whether it's 20%, whether it's whatever. No matter what the hell you make, it should be 20%, because you get opportunities in this country that most of the world just doesn't have. So if you want to make money here, then...
That's the main thing. It's like if we had 20 classes, right? And we had a class system from 1 to 20, okay? The richest will pay 20, and the poorest will pay 1. So that means everybody has to pay something.
Right.
So it's like from the top to the bottom, it's 20. If I'm making a lot of money, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, I'm going to fall between that bracket. But that's not how it is now. Now what it is I pay 13. You guys in the middle are paying 25 to 30, okay? In the middle. And then you guys at the bottom are paying 15 to 13. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That means the guys here are paying the least amount. The guys in the middle right here are supposed to support the entire structure. That's not good economics. That's stupid economics.
And that's the thing. They still don't support. I mean, still the rich still are supporting it, but they're still putting a huge burden, and more so of a burden, because that middle class and lower class are paying more than they have to give.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's not fair. Honestly, it's really. You know what it is? Any sound, intelligent Republican would say it's not fair.
Right.
And the best way to get out of a bad situation isn't to alienate yourself and your party. Okay, the best way to get out of a bad situation is to find help. Okay, and literally band together with others. Even if they don't have this, I don't care. If we're in a shootout, people are trying to kill me and you, I'm gonna say, hey, real quick though, what is your concern on?
You ain't gonna have time to talk to me, because I'm gonna be running. I'm gonna be out. If there's a shootout, I'm gonna be right behind your ass.
It is crazy, because I think I heard them talking about it, and they were saying something like, just like an example, like if Romney made like $20 million, he was paying like 13% taxes, and people making $20,000 a year was paying like 18 or 19%.
Yeah, of course. That's exactly what's happening.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, and he's hiding a lot of his money in overseas accounts and shit like that. And I'm like, this guy is fucking his government,
right?
And running for president. It's almost you gotta admire that shit.
You do.
It's so insane, like he fucked him, and then now he might be running the shit.
And running, yeah.
The one thing is, and that's why I said this to my wife a long time ago in the debates. I was like, we don't have intelligence. Like during the Republican primary, there was a school of candidates, and I'd say maybe Ron Paul, a couple other ones were like really good candidates.
Yeah.
Who I was honestly like, they make intelligent, sound arguments. We as a country don't respect intelligent, sound arguments.
Right.
We respect aggressiveness. We respect, showmanship.
No, they care more about their party than they do the country. That's what it is, because they gotta have. Some people just have to have a side. I support my team. I don't care if we right or wrong. But that's bullshit, especially when it comes to like we running the country or we're trying to figure out ways to make the country better, man. There shouldn't be no teams. The team should be the country. But they're so set in their ways, man. Like, no, I'm pro-Democrat. I hate everybody that's Republican. You can't be like that because that system's obviously broken, man. I got to go back. When Clinton was in office, fucking everybody was making money hand over fist.
Yeah.
When Bush got in office and shit went to hell.
The only bad thing about Clinton was he said it wasn't Bush. Clinton actually signed over the
outsourcing the jobs.
Yeah, the combined banks.
With that too, and outsourcing like these jobs could send all their their work to like these third world countries to do that.
That was Reaganomics. Reaganomics kicked in hard, but
I thought Gimmick was about it.
That was put in place that separated personal banks and investment banks, and it let them combine together, which is why now our infrastructure is all like a slant. So it was like if your personal went down and your business went up, it was still okay.
Right.
But now now they're together, so if one goes down, everybody goes down.
Yeah.
Instead of each one being on its own independent system, so we all are affected by it. That's the only bad thing Clinton did. Besides, who wouldn't get a blowjob from Michael Jordan? I mean, shit.
I wouldn't. I've turned down way better than
that. Yeah.
I gotta say that, man. I gotta say that, man. What the hell? So, man, what? How about back hell with all this banking depressing bullshit?
Crime time, man. Crime time.
Yeah, speaking of criminals, since we're on the subject of massive fucking criminals,
let's talk about crime time.
Let's talk about crime time. Ladies and gentlemen, Helly from Harlem, New York. Where are you guys from?
No, we're from Brooklyn. Honestly.
Oh, yeah, Brooklyn. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, me and Jay both from Brooklyn. And honestly, the gimmick was, it was Paul Heyman who came up with the initial idea of putting it together. He wanted me to team up with JTG and Abraham Washington. They were a tag team at the time.
JTG and Abraham Washington were?
Yeah, they were a tag team.
They were called what?
Huh?
What'd you say? You said they were called something?
They're called the Gangsters.
Oh, okay, got you.
Gangsters?
Yeah, and so I didn't want to be in a 3-man tag team, and I didn't want to be a tag team in general, but I knew Jay, and I liked Abraham, so I was like, I'll pick one of them. Paulie was like, cool. So let me pick JTG. And we started tagging.
So you said, fuck Abraham is what happened. You're the reason he got fired. Tell the truth. You tweeted him, and you texted him, and you said, hey, I got a joke for you to say live on TV. Say this. We can see Sherlock Helms just solved a damn mystery. Tell the damn truth.
No, he understood the position I was in, and I was like, I got to pick one of you guys. I can't have both of you guys. And so, I was supposed to...
Why the choice? Why the choice, though? Tell us the scoop. Why JTG?
I knew, because you know what? I knew Jay. Jay used to ride a Greyhound bus from New York to Louisville every week just to go to wrestling practice on the weekends.
No shit.
A 19-hour bus ride every Thursday to be at practice on Friday and Saturday and Sunday, then ride the bus back to New York. And so I gave him because I was moving out of my apartment, so I gave him my apartment when I moved to my new one. And, he stayed there and then, lived in Louisville. So,
that's fucking impressive. I didn't know that at all. That's a long motherfucking bus ride.
Yeah.
But he wanted it, man. I mean, honestly, he really wanted it, and I had to respect that. So,
I like his new look, man. I like his new look with the trunks and everything. I see that he's trying to redefine himself. Doesn't seem to be getting too many opportunities to do so. But that is the business.
Because me, us, we always keep in contact with everybody from the company still.
Right.
When you're cool, everybody don't mind being cool with you.
Right.
But it's like I feel like I told the people who are creative, and the suggestion came up to bring me back for us to do Crime Time.
Uh-huh.
And apparently, even though we trend every single week on the show,
right,
and we trend more than some of the guys they have on there, they don't want to do it.
Huh.
It's the word was that the fans don't want that, but the fans trend that every single week because they see primetime players, they see Crime Time, and it's like, come on, I want to see those two things happen, and I want to see a fight. I don't want you to tell me what fight I want to see. I want to see the fight that I want to see. So
Yeah. I'd like to see that, man. I'd like to see you guys back. I was always entertained. I mean, you did good stuff backstage. You know, I don't think we ever worked, though, did we?
No, we didn't work. Me and you worked.
I don't remember.
We worked one show. We worked like it was a house show. We did something. We did something together on a house show. I know that.
Did we?
Yeah.
I can't remember shit.
I like Crown Time.
You know what it is? That's the craziest thing. We do so much stuff together that it's like it all gets jumbled up, and it's not until you're sitting there drinking and you're like, oh, I remember that show.
I remember like helping you one time with something, like on your comeback, because you know that was one of my fortes, was putting a good comeback together.
Yeah.
And I remember, but I don't think I was in the match.
I think you were.
Or was it when I was a heel? Did we do anything when I was Gregory Helms? Because if I was Hurricane, I'd have been on your side.
You know what? No, I think you did something when you were a heel. I think you were fighting somebody who was babyface, and we were tagged with them. And you took them out.
I don't fucking know. I don't think it happened. Pigs, or it didn't happen.
Pigs, so it didn't happen. There you go.
When this comes
Pigs
out,
was
fans will
1,000.
tell me. I had one fan was sitting there telling me one time. This is one I talk about all the time. He just was convinced I'd wrestle Jeff Hardy in WWE. And I never had a singles match with Jeff. And I was like, no, I never had a singles match with Jeff. I don't know. You must be mistaken. It must have been somebody else. But this kid was, man, he was confident, like in his messages. He's like, no, I'll dig it up for you. I was like, all right, whatever, man. Suit yourself. That motherfucker sent me a clip. Sure enough, there I am.
Damn.
Wrestling. And I was sitting there watching it. I don't remember a damn second of it. I was like, God. And I went over that, which is probably why I don't remember it. I just wasn't used to it. So, I don't know.
Here you go, man. You got.
You know what? I stopped arguing with fans. They tell me things because like there's some things that I did WWE that like I don't remember. Like honestly, I remember less about my match, and I remember more about the things in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember everything I did in the back, all the freaking like funny stuff that we always did, games, and, you know, going out, getting almost arrested.
And some a little bit more than almost. I'm just.
I was gonna say.
You know, and like all those things. I remember we were in England. We literally stayed up all night long. It was me, you, Chris, a couple of people, Roka, a couple of people like that, and we just drinking. And I remember Roka was just down, we shut the hell up, and you just kept looking at me like, bitch, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. Would you please?
Shut the fuck up.
Shut up.
So what's your idea? I mean, you got an idea for
Oh yeah, I got you. It's Crown Time versus Prom Time. Whose time is it? What, man? I like it, man. Whose time is it?
I apologize for that.
But your face is funny because you're like, man, you sound just like one of them.
Like one of them.
This is Ron King.
Right.
What the hell? That's why I don't let him talk much, man. God damn.
Honestly, man, from what I hear from a lot of the boys, man, the company's it's in really bad shape right now, man.
Bad shape, like how you mean?
A lot of people aren't happy, man.
Oh, you just mean like a little people happy? Seems like too with the 3 hours. I was hoping I'd see a lot more guys get. I want to see a lot more guys get a chance, but at the same time, they got to go out there and perform when they do get a chance. You know, like if I could give some advice to JTG, I was like, man, you can't. Even though you change your look, you can't be going out there doing the same stuff. If you're doing the same stuff and it's not working, you got to change that shit up. You know, I had that problem when I had my heel run as Gregory Helms, you know, and I was the cruiserweight champion. And the thing, I had all these cruiserweights that were really great, but they've been doing the exact same shit for years.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I'm coming in as this new guy, not new, but as a new personality. I was like, and I'm bigger than they are. You know, and I don't want to go out there and do any of the flying stuff anymore because I want my baby face to shine. I was like, I had so many guys that were just kind of doing the exact same shit that they've always done, and it wasn't exactly over the top getting them over, you know. I mean, they were over. Some of them were kind of over, but some of them could be a lot more over. And I was just like, why don't you guys just do some different shit? And I ain't talking about moves. I'm talking about just change it up, change everything up. You know, so I don't know. Well, call me crazy. I know when I became Gregory Helms, I changed everything. Like the Hurricane, it kind of plateaued. I went as far as I could go with it at that point. And when I became Gregory Helms, man, the way I walked to the ring, the way I talk, my move set, just everything became different. It's like, do something different. If what you're doing isn't working, you got to try something different, or then it's kind of your fault.
You know what it is though? That's the difference in the education of you into the business that is, and like kind of like so like me too, that is not relevant anymore. Because I remember when I first came in, they said you're not going to be considered a pro until you're 10 years in the business, and I was like, shut the hell up.
Who said that?
I was a pro fighter, you know what I'm saying? At 16, I could pro wrestle, and I didn't understand it then. But now when I look at my footage from back then, like when I was in OVW, to like when I got in WWE, you really don't become a pro until you've been hired, fired, shit on, beat on, spit on, and you understand that kind of stuff. And a lot of these guys, they go into developmental and they're literally coddled from day one to the day they're released. And they always think highly of themselves. And it's like, you gotta understand, man, you ain't the biggest guy we've ever seen. You ain't the strongest guy we've ever seen. We ain't the most athletic or entertaining. Okay? We've seen it all. But what the hell do you have that all those guys before you didn't? Right. And a lot of those guys don't know how to answer. They just sit there like, I'm strong.
I was very fortunate. I never had to go to the developmental system. I'm not sure I would have made it if I did. I say that with full confidence, man. Like I think if I'd have went down there and or maybe confidence isn't a word, but I know me. I know I couldn't have put up with some of the bullshit that those guys put up with, and like just the low pay and relocating your whole life and all that shit, and I don't know if I could have done it. I'm glad that my path, I paid my dues way before. I paid my dues a long time ago but I know when a lot of guys came from WCW, they got sent to Louisville and the one in Cincinnati.
Like O'Hara,
no, Ohio Valley's in Louisville. It was HWA was in Cincinnati. But Les Parker, Les Thatcher. Man, I heard some of the shit that went on in those stuff, man. I don't know if I could have dealt with it. People ribbing me and fucking with me, man. I don't have the mentality to deal with that.
Well, I remember because Umaga went to an HWA, and I remember right before I got to OVW, like Umaga was on TV, and I never met Umaga before, and he was like 3-minute warning, and everybody was like, leave the small ones alone. And I was like, I know small ones, but okay. Right. And then like when I first met him, I first met Eki, I was like, I don't know how to react towards this dude because I've heard a bad thing. And I was like, man, just like me. And we cool as hell.
And he's ended up being a sweetheart.
And so, and I'm like, but I think one of the main things too is though, like the guys that were at HWA and OVW, a lot of those guys looked out for each other. Like in OVW, we had a strict code of, we don't sell each other out. Like I looked out for Matt Morgan. I've looked out for John Morrison. I've looked out for Johnny Jeter, Tank Tolan, Mark Capone, all those guys. We've all looked out. They've looked out for me and got me out of batch that got me fired. But the thing about the guys now in FCW, they don't have that same mentality of brotherhood.
Kind of cutthroat.
Because Carlito,
yeah,
and Masters and all. You see how we all are.
Right.
We're together, we're family.
Yeah.
And we look out for each other. It don't matter if we see each other for 6 months or 6 years. Right. We keep secrets. We make sure everybody gets out of jail. We do what we got to do. And it's us versus the company.
Did you go to jail a lot? You done said that about 3 or 4 times. I know I had to bail a few people out, from top guys to middle card guys. It wasn't just middle card guys. I had to bail a top guy out. No, I did.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I got bailed out a lot, and I thank God for my brothers. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie, because you know what? I used to have a real bad temper.
Yeah.
And so that the bigger word is very fluent in Louisville, apparently.
Yeah.
Kentucky.
That set you off pretty good.
Yeah, and I'm from New York, so.
I tell you what, down south, that word will get you in trouble too.
Yeah, it will.
That's what I tell my friends. Like, man, I know the origin of the word, and I know it doesn't matter what it's supposed to mean. All that matters is what it means now. Exactly. And if you know it's going to piss, like I got friends too that throw the rebel flag up, and the rebel flag was just a battle flag. That was just once shit was on, that's where that flag came into play.
Yeah.
So but I'm like at the same time, I'm like, dude, you know what it means today though. So don't bring up, you can see the rebel flag and there's a lot of stuff that says it's heritage, not hate. And I understand that sounds cool. But you know what? You know what comes to mind when you see that flag.
Yeah.
You know what that flag is. Like I had a friend. I was like, man, just kind of because he had his helmet when we rode bikes. His helmet was all that. I said, dude, I'm kind of a public figure, man. I don't even want to be associated with that shit. I'm not. That's not my thing. I did just get a tweet though, not to change the subject, but I did from Danny Giamundo, and he's asking me why you stole all his cookies when y'all lived together. What is this about being a cookie thief?
Okay, that's my old roommate, Danny Inferno, who I love very much. He's my brother for life. But no, I used to get these double chocolate chip cookies. And mind you, in OVW, I was about maybe 320, 340. You know what I'm saying? So I was just all big. I didn't care about abs. But I used to come home, and every night, my cookies would be lower and lower. And I remember one night I came home, and like literally half them were gone, and I got pissed. So I go to his room, I kick in his door, and I'm like, yo, what the hell are my cookies? And he's in the bed with a girl. And she's like, ah! And he's like, dude. I'm like, no, these are my cookies.
Just angry.
And he's like, over cookies? I'm like, yes, over cookies. It's not cool.
Just anger. Hey, man, cookie. Sometimes the smallest thing will set a motherfucker off.
I ain't gonna lie, because I came home one night, and I come home. You remember Mike Mondo, right?
Yeah. Mike Mondo. Doing real great in Ring of Honor right now.
Yeah, I love Mike. And so I come home one night, and I got this girl with me, and I used to cook a steak before I went to work, bouncing every night. So when I came home, my steak was there, my protein shake was there. I eat my stuff, and I'm good to go. And so I came home, and I walk in the house, and Mondo is drunk as hell. There's these 3 skanky girls just walking around half naked, just drunk, and it's, woo, we're partying. I'm like, all right, it's all good. The girl I'm with, she's down to DTF, you know what I mean? And so I'm like, all right, I'm going to get my steak, my protein shake, meet you in the bedroom. I go to the kitchen, open the pot, there's a bone, my T-bone.
Now, if you got mad over cookies,
I know you got.
I gotta guess that this flipped you out.
I tell you right now, I got so mad and everybody sobered up like that. I was like, what the fuck? And I just got boom. And like the whole cap just came down. And like all the girls, like they're in panties and bras. And I'm just like, who the fuck ate my steak? And they're like, and then it's like, I don't know, peace, I don't know. and Mondo goes, peace, I don't know, but I'm going to buy you another one. I said, no, I want my steak. Whoever ate it, throw it up right now.
That sounds pretty angry.
Literally, everybody got scared. They started, the girls go to their clothes. They start throwing money in the pile. They literally gave me like about $120 to get another steak. And I sent Mondo to the store. I was like, here's $20. Like, give me 2 T-bone steaks. Be back here. Until you come back, I'm not moving from the middle of this room. I'm just sitting there like fuming. And so everybody's like, just like, not trying to have fun and just like, should we go? I was like, no, nobody leaves till Mondo gets back.
You held him hostage.
I held him hostage.
Federally. That crime time shit, boy, that was pretty close to home, huh? That wasn't a stretch. That didn't really stretch your acting chops too much. So do you watch MMA pretty frequently? You a UFC fan?
You know what it is, man? I started fighting when I started boxing when I was 5. I started doing martial arts when I was 8. And I started doing amateur wrestling when I was 10, and I turned pro when I was 16. My old fight manager used to be Hardbody Harris.
Right.
Yeah, and Hardbody was having me fight in like nightclubs, strip clubs, and if I won, I get like $300, $200. The prize really was like $500, but Hardbody wasn't giving me.
He had a booking fee. That's right. About 50%. 45, 50%.
That's very good.
Like before I joined WWE, I was bodyguarding and doing MMA, and it's funny because like now fans are like, "Oh, I know about MMA." I'm like, it really pisses me off because a lot of them don't know nothing about MMA. Yeah. And they swear to know everything because they know like 1 or 2 fighters' names.
So do you watch? Are you a fan of MMA now or?
Yeah, you know what? I'm a huge fan. A lot of guys, I still chill with. I'm friends with Josh.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Bobby.
Josh Barnett. Yeah. Bobby Lashley.
Me and Dexter. You know Dexter Jackson, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Me and him are in an argument right now because I think Vanderlei Silva. I think Silva would beat Jones 1-on-1, honestly. And he's like.
Can I ask you a question?
Yo.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
You too.
In his prime, it would have been interesting.
Yes,
Right now, not a damn chance.
You know what, man?
Did you see that Rampage Vanderlei fight?
It's one of those lion versus like old lion versus young lion kind of fights where you want to see it because you always want to hope that the old lion just gets that George Foreman and wins it. You know what I mean?
So did you hear the news today? The whole event got canceled. UFC 151, the whole event.
Yeah, that's stupid to me. I don't get that.
Yeah. So the story is Dan Henderson got hurt. He's out of the fight with John Bones Jones.
Yeah.
So then they offered Bones Jones Chael Sonnen on 8 days' notice, and Jones said no. So Dana White gets all hot and cancels the whole damn event. And so a lot of fans came out and they were kind of blasting Jones, this, that, and the other. I kind of see Jones' point. Like,
I do too.
I think he was in a no-win situation. I'm like, why is this his responsibility? You know, and I understand too, the fans going, he should have stepped up, you know, he should be a fighting champion and all that shit. But I don't even understand, like, how does a guy who's not even the top contender at middleweight anymore be granted a championship shot at light heavyweight? That's like crazy booking. Like, I understand, like, I like Chael Sonnen a lot too. Best talker in MMA by far. And some damn good tweets at times too. I just didn't. I mean, I think like even if he beat Chael Sonnen, so what? He beat a middleweight that's coming off a loss. So he's beating a guy that's not even a top middleweight, right? Well, he's a top middleweight, but not the top middleweight. And so it's going to be like, yes, so what? But if he slips on a banana peel and loses, then where does he go from there? That makes him look doubly bad. I thought he was in there, because anything can happen. You're out there fighting. You could break a hand, which happens all the time. Josh just broke his hand. The first minute of his last fight, you know, people do that. Anything can happen. And Chael still is dangerous. I'm not saying Chael had absolutely no chance. Of course he stood a chance. You know, and I think too a lot of people were saying because of the wrestling pedigree of Dan Henderson and Chael Sonnen that it would be kind of the same. But Henderson and Chael fight really a lot different. Dan wants to be on his feet and bang. That's what he does. Chael likes to do that grind you down, ground and pound shit. They fight really different, despite, like I said, having a very similar, background with the wrestling pedigree and all that type of shit, man. So I mean, I see Jones' point 100%. I don't think they had to cancel the event because I think they got a full roster. They got heavyweights, they got middleweights, they got all these other weight classes. I can't believe that they can't find two guys to just jump in there that don't have a championship to lose, that don't have all that to risk, and have a lot to gain by stepping up. I can't believe that they can't find somebody else, some other star to fill that main event slot.
Well, you know what this thing is, like, I think we're part to blame for this. Like,
me and you, what did I do? Blame it on the Shane. Yeah.
No. And the only reason I say that is because, a lot of MMA fans are also wrestling fans.
Yep.
And the science of fighting sports has changed drastically within the last 10 years. It used to be there was a ranking system, and everybody knew who was in the system. Mike Tyson was the champion, and these guys are all coming for his belt.
Right.
Everybody's moving slowly. But now that boxing isn't our main sport in America no more, we see it differently. Now we look towards professional wrestling, and professional wrestling has really screwed up, system of John Cena's the champion. He's the number one contender. Not because he won the match, because he's John Cena. And fans see it as Chael Sonnen is the number one contender because I like him.
Right. Yeah, totally. That's very valid.
You know what I'm saying? You have to earn yourself a spot. And there's a lot of guys to fight. There's Lloyd, what's it called?
Lyoto is who he's going to fight. If you're trying to say Lyoto Machida, that's who he's going to fight. But that's going to be in Toronto in a couple weeks. Okay.
Yeah. Now that's there are a lot of fights that can happen with a lot of young guys. And honestly, I think UFC could do something smart right here. They're gonna say, hey, check this out. We just lost our main event. So for the fans, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take the whole card that we have and we're gonna make a tournament. And we're gonna have 3 main fights.
I don't think you could do tournament. I think the way legislation is for the fighting now, you can't do the tournament no more.
You can't, like, in the States you can. That's right. I'm sorry.
Not like that old school where you got to fight several times in one day. I don't think you can do that anymore.
Yeah, because I remember in Pride, like in Japan, they used to do it all the time, and it would be a smart thing, like to have now. But yeah,
Like in those early UFCs though, by the time you got to that final round, some of those guys would be fucked up.
Yeah.
And I thought it was always funny too, not changing the subject, but like seemed like Horace Gracie, he always had like the jobbers in his bracket. And then his opponent would have all these tough fights. So by the time he's in the final, his opponent's half fucked up and Horace is like kind of fresh. And that might just be, a conspiracy theory. But I think, man,
like jobbers.
it's funny. Like I just did this interview 2 days ago, and I was letting Mike hear it before I was talking to you, with Brian Fritz, like Between the Ropes is called. And he's asking me about MMA. And dude, I sit there and I say about some of the mistakes they make. I said, I think, they're making a mistake with some of the cards where only the main event matters and it has a real weak undercard, which is one of the things that killed boxing. And I was talking about that, and lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. I blame it more on Zoo for booking a weak undercard. And it might have been like really good, talented guys, but people that, but fighters that people don't know. So star power is when I say weak undercard, weak in star power. And if you put if you got to put the responsibility of an entire card on just one fight, that's a hell of a risk. And that's a hell of you can't do that because it hurt boxing, because if the undercard isn't good and now you're just relying on this main event and then the main event sucks, well then the whole card sucked. That would happen a lot in the Tyson fights. Tyson, as great as he was for boxing, man, they would have an undercard that was subpar, and then Tyson would go out there and kill the guy in a minute, and you're like, well, damn. I just spent $50 on this pay-per-view that wasn't worth shit. And if you were there alive, the event was cool. I'll be honest, was cool. But then you're like, oh, okay, well, damn. So that was a disappointment.
That's happening with us. That, again, man, we, in wrestling, we're doing the same thing right now.
Yeah, but you're going to be entertained.
A lot of that booking, like that's the one thing I always said for us. And you remember Vince used to always say this to us: every American has a wrestling story.
Yeah.
Every American has a wrestling. It's embedded into our culture. All right, it's that thin layer in our history that we can't run away from as Americans. And I kind of feel like, you look at UFC, a lot of fans try to look at UFC like the real WWE, like, oh, this is just like wrestling, but it's real. And these guys are gonna kill each other, and he hates this guy. This guy hates this guy because his wife. And it's like, it's not storylines, man. It's they want more drama and all that kind of shit, but it's not really in there, And
I think too, to disagree a little bit, I think with wrestling, like the undercard is gonna be entertaining. Like, I think even with wrestling, like even if they do overbook the 1 or 2 matches in the main event or semi-main slot, you still know there's gonna be some good shit on that undercard.
So you're gonna be entertained at least.
Yeah, with MMA, sometimes like you don't know. That one, they had one on Fox not too long ago, and like that main event was wild hair. What's that fucker's name? You don't like Guida, Clay Guida? Awful. And I was like, I was ready to take my shirt off, throw it at the TV. I'll do it.
He will do it.
But so I still can't believe that they canceled like that. That he felt, and Zuffa must have felt that undercard was that weak.
They had to have.
Because I'm wondering too. I was wondering this, and I'm not basing this on any facts, but I'm wondering if ticket sales and shit might have been weak anyway, because they're just coming off that Colorado show, and keep in mind, there's still thousands of people out there. They made a lot of money, but it wasn't at the attendance that they're used to. So I'm wondering if ticket sales might have been weak anyway. And I don't have any facts to justify that. But it seems to me like there's more to the story, that you're just going to cancel a whole damn pay-per-view and just accept this loss of revenue without even trying to put on a show. Roy Nelson was tweeting right away, put me in, coach.
Yeah.
That big fat motherfucker go fight anybody.
Yeah.
Now, there had to be other stars that would have stepped in. It's not like Jones is, he's not Anderson Silva. He's not GSP. He's not their biggest ticket seller.
No, he's not.
So I'm like, wow, there had to be other options out there. So it seems to me like there's more to the story, and Jones is kind of being a scapegoat, being thrown under the bus a little bit. But I don't know. He got signed by Nike. His ass ain't gonna be hurt for money.
No, not at all.
No, that's always the thing too. You gotta remember, it's a business first and foremost. And as much as fans would love it to be just a dream, you and I both know I ain't injuring myself for free.
Yeah.
I ain't jumping off a scaffold for free. I ain't doing any dumb shit for free. I need to get paid because we're at that point where it's a business. It's not a dream no more.
Yeah, and I think too he paid his dues, and there's a lot of people. I mean, I was reading a lot of tweets. I got in a pretty heavy discussion where I couldn't believe some of the stuff people were saying. Were like, yeah, but he's a champ. He should prove it. And I'm going, pretty much. I'm pretty sure that big gold belt he wears around his waist proves that he's the champion, and he's a defending champion. He didn't just win it, and I mean he's a defending champion. He earned a shot. He slaughtered everybody. His one loss is a DQ, and he fucked that dude up. Matt Hamill. He whooped his damn ass. They had to carry him out of the cage. That's his only blemish on his record. So that's kind of an iffy blemish. Machida is actually the only guy I've seen to even show some weakness in Jones.
I love the fight with him and Rampage. I thought, honestly, I'm a big fan of Rampage. Mm-hmm. Even though Rampage lost, that was the best I've seen Rampage fight in a long time. He wanted it. He did. He did. And I was like, and when you see a man dig and fight, you're like, that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
It's that heart. It's that warrior spirit. And even if he lost, I won. Everybody won. That was a good fight.
That was a good one. I was really disappointed in Rashad. I wanted Rashad to wrestle more with him.
Yeah, I wanted Rashad more than him.
But I wanted to see, and then too, I would still love to see him fight Chael, just to see what would happen.
Right.
But like I said, I understood both sides. It would have been cool if he fought him, but I still understand that. I still understand him not taking it. So I don't know. But who knows? That shit might change tomorrow.
Why couldn't they book Rashad and Chael?
Man, I don't know. Like I said, is everybody else not training? Like, is this the only two guys that are training? Like, Chael Sonnen will tell you he trains all the time. He's like, man, I'm never really that far out of shape. Because if you get too far out of shape, that's when you really destroy your body. So you got that. I mean, there has to be guys out there that they might not be 5 rounds ready, but they should be 3. That 5 rounds that's remarkably tough on the human body. But I would think there's got to be some guys out there that are at least 3 rounds ready.
What's funny? I just did 3 rounds the other day, 3 6-minute rounds, kickboxing yesterday, and I ain't gonna lie to you, man. After round number 2, I was like,
boy, ain't nothing.
What the hell, man?
Ain't nothing like blowing up. Like when I was an amateur, I started wrestling as an amateur at about 140 pounds. And that was 7 years, man. Amateur wrestling, you're just a machine. Once you get in that shape, you can just go and you don't stop. And then I started wrestling. I started getting into sports nutrition and putting on muscle and learning how to do it. And it took a while, but I started slowly gain weight, and I got up to about 180. Now I'm doing good. It's when I'm early 20s when you can do that shit. In the 30s, it just don't come together no more. But I remember the first time I blew up, and it's the first time I'd blown up since in forever because I was in such good shape for amateur. I thought something was wrong with my lungs. I was like, man, I was in the back. I was like, man, I can't breathe, man. I think something's wrong with me. And my partner was like, yeah, you're blown up, motherfucker. I'm like, damn, it's been so long. I was like, oh, this sucks. I hadn't been on the treadmill forever. I was like, damn, I can't believe I got to go get on the treadmill again. That hell with it. But I love it, man. Shit. Well, man, Shad has been. Let me ask you real quick. What you got coming up? I know your TV thing's doing good. I know there was a couple good irons in the fire you can't really talk about that we talked about personally. But is there anything you can say to your fans out there?
Yeah, actually, my boy, 2 friends of mine were like, because I had some footage from Comic-Con when we went down there and some footage from when I was in the X's and stuff like that. And they were trying to videotape me, do a lot of stuff, and they're gonna make it into a documentary real quick, 5 episodes. Oh. And they're gonna put that out, I think, next month. Okay. And you know me, man. I'm pretty chill about everything, And anytime I can help anybody out, try and do their thing, I'm always down for it. They're directors. They like to do documentary stuff. Mm-hmm. They're like, dude, you live an interesting life. We can try to put something together real quick and make it and see how it goes. The first run does good. We can probably get some money and do it even bigger. Because I was like, whatever, I don't care. It's how much it's gonna cost me? Nothing. I'm sold.
Yeah, that's right.
That's cool. It's always cool just to do stuff you like to do, man. It's a very rare opportunity, to just go out there and do what you want to do. I gotta ask you, is that a Shaft poster in the back?
Oh yeah, this is my media room.
Is that Shaft though? Because I think I recognize. Okay. There we
Shad
go.
poster. Now, okay, that's an original Shad poster.
All right.
Like the original from the theater when it came out. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And this is my original Conan the Barbarian.
Ah, nice.
All right, like original when it came out. And this is my conference picture in my media room. Hold on.
Damn.
Wow. Now I know it says King Kong, but that's basically represents me.
King Kong.
Fighting the world.
I see a resemblance.
Yeah, fighting the world with a white woman in one hand, and
There you go.
See, that's some shit you can say. I say that shit, I'll be fired by my own self.
you can't say that.
I can't say it, man. Damn. I got Muhammad Ali, Rocky Balboa, the Seinfeld cast. I got Thriller and Manila over here, Ali and Frazier, Superman back here. This is a painting by Jeff Hardy. And there's one right there, I can't remember what the fuck it is.
I first show this one. You show this one. Now, I've literally had this. I've literally had this since I was a kid, and this is like one of my favorite fighters ever.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's cool.
Look at Marvin Hagler.
Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
God, he's bad. Is that Hearns up top or is that Sugar Ray?
Sugar Ray.
Who's the guy in the down?
Sugar Ray, Tyson, Ali, and what's it called? Foreman.
That's Foreman down there? He looks kind of Asian.
Huh?
He looks like Chekhov from Star Trek.
Shut up.
That's a cool pick, man. I like that pick.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's my honestly, man. That's the thing, man. Like I said, man, I've been a fighter about like I honestly hate that when fans, like wrestling fans, they act like they know everything about us. And I've been a fighter my entire life. Like, if there's anything I'm known for, I'm known for being a fighter. But they're like, oh, now you want to be MMA? I'm like, dude, I was MMA and then I came to WWE.
Right.
It's like,
dude, I promise you, as a guy that played a superhero, I have it way worse. Because I hear these guys did a review on my shoot interview, and all they're talking about is, I hate the way the guy talks about like he's a fighter, and he's they said I talk thuggish, and I'm going, motherfucker, just because I wore a superhero and played a comedy character, don't think that's who I am. That's who I played on TV. And I don't try to act like I'm a badass, but I did have a life before that. Lord, what we got going on here? Little.
My son, he's going to bedtime.
What's his name? Hey, buddy. How you doing? Don't be afraid of the white people. Don't be afraid.
He's like, I'm half white too. Kiss. Kiss. Okay.
Ah, that's a cute kid, man. Cute kid.
Yeah, I love him. Hey, you know how it is. Me and you both just get dads.
Man, it's wonderful. Yeah, it's more than I ever thought. And I never wanted them. Not only did I not want them, I planned against it. I planned against it for years. There's a reason I didn't have a kid till I was 37 and just turned 38. But now that I have it, man, I didn't know what I was missing. It's ridiculous.
Honestly, man, the other day, I'm sitting there and he just like starts saying the cutest things in the world. And I'm just like,
oh, he was talking about me?
Huh?
He was talking about me?
Shut up. No, but it's just like, it's like, he's just sitting there and he goes, as I say, it's right, give me that. He says, okay, 1, 2, 3. And he throws it so hard and it flies by my face and it goes far. And I'm like, oh my God.
It's amazing.
All these thoughts in my head, I'm like, okay, I want you to play defensive line. We can change your quarterback now.
Yeah, there you go.
Go in there, get him into baseball. Because then they don't never get hurt. If they get hurt, there's always like little small injuries.
It's a math. That's it. I want him, as long as he's smart and knows math, because my son, he's on 90th percentile for his size.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor said there ain't no way he's going to be anything under 6'5". So, because my wife is, she's my wife. You see my wife. She's an athlete too. Yeah. Yeah. So he's gonna be big.
I got a couple of pics of her on my phone. I'll show you one.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Here's my kid, man. I'll show you. This is my little kid right here, man. You got you one of them? You got your wrestling buddy? It says shit too. Can you hear that shit?
No. I'll quit it. If you do that again, you will see a hurricane coming.
What's up with that?
What's up with that?
that's great.
Shit. Well, cool, Daddy. Oh, man. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to do the show. You're gonna be the first one that's exclusive to YouTube. We're gonna see how that goes. I don't know. The iTunes thing's been going great, man. 1 million downloads, but I know iTunes is available to everybody. So we experiment with Highway to Helms, man. It's doing good. Like you said, just doing something fun, something creative on your own. So I appreciate that. Your Twitter thing's been on the screen the whole time at Shad Beast. You have a website where people can do anything, or?
Yeah, when you go to my Twitter, honestly, if you go to Twitter, you can find my webpage.
That's where you find everything.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, to this day, and it just happened today too, somebody tweets me at ShaneHelmsCom asking me what my website is. Just seems like there's a hint there somewhere. Just seems like
where it says a webpage on your. Yeah.
No, just in my Twitter name at ShaneHelmsCom.
Yeah.
That's not comedian. That's not commander. ShaneHelmsCom. What the hell? But maybe it's short for commander. I'm the fucking Cobra commander. Well, cool. Hey, did you have a thing in G.I. Joe? Is that right or wrong?
No, I got. You know what's funny? I went to the audition for that, and I was the only one of the only few black actors that they actually called in for that. Because I fit the description of Roadblock perfectly. Right. And so I did the audition. They were like, the cast was loving me, and you know, they were all like, you know, talking to my agent, talking to my manager, and then they're like, oh yeah, we're also vetting The Rock for a role in the film. We don't know which one. We don't know which role yet. And so they gave Rock a list of names to pick, and of course he picks Roadblock.
Who else would he? Yeah, who else would he be though? There's not that many.
The script was written differently. Roadblock was a secondary character rather than the main lead, and they looking for a white main lead, but they couldn't find one. When they got Rock, they were like, "Shit, let's just change the name," and make him the main lead.
Oh, so Roadblock got the big push because of Rock.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
that's power.
That's power. Man, I was like, because I got a call back. I got the first audition. Got a call back. I told my agent, I'm happy. And then they're like, Rock's gonna be the movie with Rock. Oh hell yeah. They're like, Rock might be Roadblock. Hold the fuck up.
Well, you had to know, like, if you know G.I. Joe, only a select few black characters in there.
Well, you know what's funny? Because this is the word around. Because I read the script a little bit. A lot of people were saying that Rock was going to be Sergeant Slaughter, like the new version of Sergeant Slaughter.
I hate when they change the race on characters. How do you feel about that? It happens in comics a lot. How do you feel about that? I hate when they change the nationality.
You know what? They made if Shaq was white and it works, all right.
I don't want Shaq to be white.
But you know what it is? I saw the funniest thing. I saw Luke Cage, the white version.
Who? By who? Who did that?
It was a funny YouTube. It's called The White Luke Cage. Man, I was rolling my eyes laughing. He was like,
but they don't know. See, but you know that one didn't turn out because it's never they turn white. That's how it never happens like that.
You know what it does sometimes.
Nope.
Cleopatra.
What was Cleopatra? Who was her?
Cleopatra was a black queen.
No, I know who it is in history, but I'm talking about who played her.
Elizabeth Taylor.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but they didn't come out and say she's white. She was still Egyptian in the movie. They just didn't cast no black people back then.
Jesus.
Hey man, Jesus. But like in comics, it happens all the time. They all the time, even with the newest Spider-Man in the Ultimate Universe, they literally just said, "What if he was black?" and then they killed the white guy. I'm like, don't that seem a little racist?
Yeah, I thought they combined him. I thought he was still alive.
I think somehow he came alive, but I think initially he was dead or some shit. I don't know what the fuck.
I think what happened was that the kid had to pick up the mantle of Peter Parker. And when he picked up the mantle of Peter Parker and became new Spider-Man, he basically was trying to, in honor of him. Because he wanted to be his own, but he was doing it in honor of Peter Parker. Then Peter Parker came back and they joined teams together. And now they're fighting together right now. The
one time I really liked they did it, though. One time I thought they made sense. There was a black Captain America. And the storyline was that because of the serum that turns you into Captain America, that the government experimented, they would have experimented on African Americans way before they would have tried it on Caucasians, which is probably fucking true. So that's the one I was like, I can buy that.
That was a good storyline. That was Adam.
Seemed like
they tested on him first.
I think Isaiah Washington.
There you go. That's it.
Not to be confused with Abraham Washington, who you fucked over for Crime Time. Oh, sorry. But you know, in the current Marvel universe, though, his like son or grandson or great grandson is a member of the Young Avengers, and he's maybe he's called the Patriot or something like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But like they did it with the Green Lantern. It's just like, well, we need a black character. So instead, what I mean is why I don't like it is why don't you just create one? Like if you need a strong black character, then create one. Don't just turn a white guy black. That's what I mean. I don't care that the character is black. But I'm like, it just seems like a cop-out to me. Like, if you need a strong black character, just make one.
Like, we got to go through when we're developing the script and pitching it to companies.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, we pitched it to line, like, we pitched a bunch of film companies when we first had it, like 5 years ago when we first wrote the screenplay. Pitched a bunch of film companies, and a lot of people liked it. But they liked it because they were going to change the main character from white to black. Then, once it got to the point where everybody was like, man, the black character sounds really cool, it became well, he needs to sound more black. And it was like, what do you mean? Well, you know, the speech he gives here is really emotional and sensitive, you know, but there's no slang in it at all. And I was like, not everybody black, you know, like, yo, they killed my baby mama, so now I got killed. You know?
They don't all talk like that?
You know, hey, I know you black. I know you wrong.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, I grew up like Power Man and Iron Fist. Power Man's a black guy, Iron Fist a white guy. Was my second favorite book as a kid growing up. It was the second book that I was just into. My uncle had the whole collection. And like my best friend was black. And so we were Power Man and Iron Fist. So if that movie came out and Power Man was white and Iron Fist was black, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Right.
Don't switch that shit, man.
No, there's always some extensions to the rule. You know what I'm saying? My main thing is that the same thing like with anything I want to watch. You gotta have a good story.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't care if it has CGI. I don't care if you're black or white. I don't care if it's on Krypton or Mars, whatever. If it has a good story that I can get into, I'm gonna love it.
Now see, if Spawn would have came out and they'd have made him white, I'd been pissed. I'd have been hot. It's not a bad. I just hate the flip flop. I hate because if I read a book long enough, and I'm emotionally invested in it, and I like it, and now it's in my mind who this person looks like. Especially when you're reading a novel, because when you're reading a novel and you don't have pictures, you invent these identities in your mind of what this person looks like. You read the description, and then sometimes you watch the movie and they don't look at fucking all like what you think they should look. That immediately takes you out sometimes. You're like, dang.
You know what it is? That's like Neil Gaiman's book, American Gods. You ever heard of it?
Yep.
Love that book.
Right.
Awesome. And when I read it, I always saw the Shadow as being like, you know, half white, half black. You know, like my son's half white, half black. I figured it would be like that. Then I listened to it on tape, you know, a few years later. And the guy playing a Shadow had a black voice. And so now I see the guy being more black. Then Neil Gaiman comes out, he's like, Shadow is The Rock. He's like, he looks like Dwayne Johnson. He said, there's anybody who looks like Shadow, in my mind, it's Dwayne. And people got pissed.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, Shadow's a white man, he's white, because this and it's like, you're telling the guy who wrote the book what his character is.
Seems like he would know. Seems like he would have inside information.
Exactly. And he's like, no, I made Shadow, you know, he's black. He's a black guy. That's why he stands out in everywhere he goes in all these places, you know. But it's weird, man. Yeah.
But like you said, if the movie's great enough, I probably wouldn't even care. It's just a little tiny thing. But anyway, man, we're gonna wrap it on up. Shad Beast, I want to thank you again for being on the show. Mikael Yamaha, I don't know if I've been introduced you to him or not, but he's a worker here and a grappler here in North Carolina, a champion among men. Very famous on MySpace.
Please.
And also famous for hugging dead animals. And our regular viewers will know exactly what I'm talking about. But thanks again, man. I hope to see you soon. Good luck out there and take care, my friend.
All right,
Boom.
Super cool guy there, man.
Oh, he's awesome.
Wow.
Whoop.
Yeah,
There we go.
super cool.
Very good, man. That was a good little
that's
shindig.
good.
Funny stories. Funny guy, man. Always got along with him. That's in that elevator. When we got on there, That guy says, I'm from Massachusetts. We just started laughing. I was like, what the hell's that got to do with anything?
That's great.
Oh,
He
man.
scared him to death.
Hell yeah, that scared me. Shit. Well, that's cool, Daddy. What you got going on this weekend?
Nothing, man.
Not a damn thing?
A bunch of big parties, I think, this weekend. We're trying to make. Catch nothing wrestling-wise. You know me, man. I'm just chilling.
You're the chillingest motherfucker ever.
But you got something. You
know, I just had a good weekend in Milwaukee, man. Did a show Saturday night for Great Lakes Championship Wrestling. I teamed with Mr. 450. You can follow him on Twitter. We went against two guys, man, two big guys. The match turned out really well, very exciting, and very creative. We had to get creative. The ceiling was pretty low, so the Hurricane couldn't fly quite as high. But it was very interesting. And then Sunday night, I was paid to go to a sports bar and host SummerSlam, and I did my first ever live tweeting during a pay-per-view, man. I thought SummerSlam was pretty damn good. So that was very entertaining, though.
Can't beat that, getting paid to do that.
I know, I tweeted that. I said, man, I used to get paid to be at these pay-per-views. Now I'm getting paid to watch it. I got no complaints with that. You know, that was damn good. This Saturday, I will be in Thomasville, North Carolina. You can go to @ShaneHelmsCom, and my main pick is the little advertisement for the show, so you can check that out. Yeah, too. At Mikael Yamaha, don't forget him. At Chad Beast, don't forget him. And that's about it, man. I think we're feeling good.
I tell you what, man, I was going to tell you.
Tell me.
That they had Chael Sonnen on ESPN today.
Yeah, what do you say?
And I tell you, you know how you said you kind of see both sides of this whole deal?
Yeah.
I tell you what, man, I was listening to him, and his points were, you know, if you get into a real fight,
right,
you don't get no time to prepare for it.
Right.
It's on.
Uh-huh.
And his points were, you know, Jones gets 8 days for this 8-day notice to fight Sonnen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Sonnen was like, Jones is already prepared to fight. Even though he's prepared to fight another fighter, he's still been training to fight.
Mm-hmm.
And Sonnen says he hasn't even got time to do jump ropes or anything because the final week is always media and all this other meetings and stuff going on before the fight. So he wouldn't even have time this week to even train, to prepare for this fight, to do any jump ropes or anything. So he felt like it was an opportunity that Jones made a mistake on by not capturing to take this fight with him. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I'm not going to disagree. I'm not going to disagree with you. I think that in lieu of the situation, that UFC wouldn't have made him do any media, that they would give it him this week to prepare.
Right.
So I'm not buying that one. I'm not, like I say, I'm not going to disagree with him, but I'm not buying that.
Right.
And Chael said in interviews time and time again, even on Joe Rogan podcast, which you guys can go download, that he stays in shape all the time. You know, he never gets really out of shape, stays in shape. And I think it would have been awesome if Jones would have took the fight. I would love to see that fight. My point was, I just understand Jones not taking it.
Right.
You know, he don't need the money. He just signed a big endorsement deal with Nike, and it's not even about the money. That's what people kept saying. Well, it's not about the money. I'm like, so you want the guy to fight for free? What does that even mean? You know, I think it was just a no-win situation. Because if you know, I don't understand why Chael Sonnen was even put in that title picture. He's a middleweight. He's not a light heavyweight. Yes, he's fought at light heavyweight before, but his career recently has been at middleweight. 2 failed attempts to win a championship. You know, he didn't do it. So now he's not even the top contender for the middleweight championship. Right. How can you not be the top contender for the middleweight championship and be granted a shot at the light heavyweight championship? That don't even make no sense. You know, that's AJ Lee, but AJ, general manager of WWE, booked that shit. You know, that's some of that WWE logic. I don't buy that. You know, I would love to see it. If it would have happened, I'd have been right there watching it.
Yeah, me
but
too,
my point is that I just understand Jones not doing it. I don't think it makes him less of a fighter. I don't think it makes him less of a man. This ain't ancient Rome. These ain't gladiators. You can't go out there and force them to fight. Jones was looking out for himself, no doubt. But you know what? If Jones would have went out there and got hurt, you think that undercard would have looked after him? If Jones would have went out there and had a career-ending injury, which it can happen at any time, would the UFC have took care of him for the rest of his life? Would that undercard have took care of him? No, they wouldn't have. So, you know, especially when you're a champ, you have to look after your investment. You have to look after your interests. His training camp didn't want him to fight. Greg Jackson, one of the smartest trainers out there. There are some negatives against him, true, but he's still one of the smartest trainers out there. a very successful camp. They didn't want him to fight. So I think Jones made a smart decision. It's not a popular decision, but I think it was a smart decision, and I understand it. Once again, if they had a fault, I would have been right there watching. I would love to see it. I hope it happens down the road.
Yeah,
I just see both sides, you know.
Yeah.
Chael's, I could listen to Chael talk all day long. So he's crazy as shit, but sometimes he can say some crazy shit, but say it very intellectually and rope you into it, believing it.
Right.
You know, he's very talented.
Yeah, he can talk. He definitely can talk.
Yes.
And you know, you keep hearing about there's all these other fighters that want the shot or want to step up.
Where the hell they at?
But you're not hearing anybody. You know what I mean? One or two maybe, but you know.
The only one I saw, the first one I saw, I didn't have my, you know, I was kind of busy there. The only one I saw was Roy Nelson saying, "Put me in, coach."
Right.
That's the only one I saw.
Yeah, you're not hearing this long list that they're talking about they have of all these guys that want that opportunity. That you're not hearing them step up right now and say, "I'll take the 8 and fight on 8 days." No.
And that whole thing, like he's letting the UFC down, it's not his responsibility to book that card. He didn't book that card around himself. UFC did that, you know. And it's like, yeah, they're giving him all these opportunities, and he's a fighter. He earned those opportunities. He earned every opportunity he's got by going out there and beating the piss out of everybody he's fought. His one loss was a disqualification, and he was murdering him. You know, just got called for a 12-6 call.
Was it?
You know, it's an elbow that went straight down. Like you can elbow like from the
Right.
side, but if you come straight down with the point of the elbow, and it's very weird because if you're on the bottom, you see people using that point of the elbow all the time. But if you're on top, you can't go. And I think it's called 12-6. You're 12 o'clock to 6.
Right.
Boom, some shit like that. And that's what he got disqualified for. He was fucking Hamill up anyway. Hamill wasn't right since. You know, he actually ended up retiring a couple fights after that, but he wasn't right after that fight. Machida's the only one that even won a round against him that I saw, and that was the first round, and then got choked out in the second.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
I know they had Dana White on there too. And
Dana White's pissed. Dana White's pissed.
What you think that? And I don't even know if it's right for me to say this, but do you think Dana White's whole issue being pissed about it is over the money loss on it? More than
could be, but Dana likes fighters. He likes warriors. You know, he keeps guys around sometimes, even though they lose a bit, as long as they can put on a good show.
Right.
Dana's a fan. He's very spirited, very emotional.
Right.
And I can understand that. I can identify with that.
Yeah.
I don't think throwing John Jones under the bus like this is
the way to go about it.
Way to go.
What was the injury? I don't know if it's been said, but I haven't heard.
I think Henderson MCL. I think he tore his MCL or something like that. It's very weird too that Chael Sonnen, about a week ago, started talking shit about John Jones. Out of nowhere, kind of out of the blue. Chael Sonnen's good friends with Dan Henderson. I wonder if he knew about this previously, and that's why he just lit the fire a little bit. Got the embers warmed up.
Gotcha.
I don't know. Like I say, I don't know.
It's possible, right? Yeah.
It's very odd that he just started talking shit about a guy that wasn't even in his weight class. And I mean, I know that he had talked about moving back up to light heavyweight after his loss to Anderson Silva, but I don't know. Like I said, I would have loved to see the fight. I just understand that. I understand why.
You know, he was even saying today that he was like one of the highest paid fighters.
Yeah, he is.
And that he would even give up his pay for Jones to take the fight. Like,
see, that's the thing. He's got everything to win.
Right.
He's getting a championship shot that he doesn't deserve. That's not stepping up. Not to me.
Right.
Anybody would have said, like, if you, I mean, hell, that's like David Arquette winning the WCW championship.
Right.
He didn't step up. They gave him, they said, look, we're going to make you the champ. So, damn, he did it.
Stepping up is Roy Nelson saying, put me in.
Yeah, put me in. I don't give a damn who I fight.
That's right.
Not granting a world champion a chance at a world championship. Right, that ain't stepping up. That's charity.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't deserve this, but we're going to give you. Like, there's nobody else in that damn weight class. Although Bones Jones has beat the piss out of everybody in the weight class, I can see why Dana wanted that fight because it's an exciting fight. It would have put asses in the seats.
Yeah.
I would have loved to seen it.
Yeah.
My point being, as I just understand Jones' point of view. He's protecting himself because in a fight game, I promise you, just like in a wrestling game, just like in football, when you're done, they get fucking rid of you.
Yep.
There's somebody else waiting to take your damn place.
Always.
Jones is looking out for his best interest, which I understand that. So, anyway, man, great show today.
Yeah. Good show, my man.
We got a couple good names. Actually, I was on the horn today. We got a lot of good guests coming up. Going to be some exciting times.
Yeah.
I'm
ready.
Ready. Cool. With Daddy-O, you know the song. Heaven forbid.
It's Highway to Helms.
Another day, another dollar as I holler to the world. I love the way I'm living, love the Gucci, love the girls, love the parties and the clubs, love the models and hot tubs, love the German engineering set on deep dish dubs. Another tour around the world, entertaining the fans. I love walking through the airport, taking pictures, shaking hands. Every day for me's an oyster, crack it open, find a pearl. I love the way I'm living, is what I holler to the world. Wake up in my bed.